Good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you all. And we have got amazing participation. We had an amazing participation in the last session that we have just finished almost like 3 minutes back. And again, we have got another um, speaker coming your way who's going to talk about Harveen Bedi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your trust that you have imposed throughout this journey. This is International Coaching Week 2020, where we bring to you a few of the best coaches from all across the world. Here on this call, we don't have people only from India. We've got people from different parts of the world. We have got people from Portugal. We have got people from Canada. We have got people from Bulgaria. We have got people from the US. We've got people from UK. Oh, that's an amazing turnout that we have. We couldn't ask for more. Thank you so much, Bedi sir. You have definitely have some charisma and aura that's pulling us, that's pulling so many people, not only from India, but from all across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this webinar, the series of webinar that we are organizing right now, it's hosted by X Monks. X Monks is an ecosystem where we bring to you the world-class monks in their own diverse traits, in their own diverse streams for personal transformation and leadership development. And when we were looking for who could be the best people who have done something really significant and who are doing something really meaningful, who could be speakers on this platform, and Harveen was definitely one of those names that popped in my head. I said, it would be really unfair at my part. It would be really unfair at X Monks team's part not to have Harveen on this panel. So Harveen, thank you so much for agreeing, for accepting this invitation and be a part of this panel discussion. So that's one. Second is, as you mentioned, let me just quickly introduce briefly, right? Because in case I start to introduce Harveen, it will take me almost like an hour. Harveen is a certified coach. He's definitely one of the finest coaches I know of in the country today, and have had the honor of, I would have interacted over 3,000 coaches in India only, right? Not to impress you guys, but to impress upon the point that Harveen, when you meet him, you would know what I'm talking about. A thorough gentleman with a heart of gold and with beautiful intentions, not only to grow as an individual, but to help the other people, as many people as he comes across, right? One was the biggest challenge for me was, for us as team, was to get time from Harveen, because Harveen is totally blocked. He's doing a lot of one-on-one coaching for all the people, and especially during COVID-19, there are so many people who are looking forward to switch the gears and move into another career, right? And Harveen is the man for you, right? So Harveen is going to share with us the topic that he's going to talk about is learn the ARAP coaching path for your dream job. Now, keep your hand on your heart. If you were to ask yourself, are you really happy with your current job? Do you consider your job as a career, or it's still a job? If another organization, if they offer you a job with better salary, with better package, with few more facilities, would you jump onto and hop onto that new role? If your answer is yes, I tell you, you're in the right platform, right? Now, what he's going to talk about is who is better equipped at guiding you from your job into a dream career, or a recruiter or a career coach, right? Harveen has invested over 2,000 to 4,000 hours only in interviewing people. He was a part of Naukri.com, from Naukri where it started to where it is today. Harveen has played a very vital role in the way Naukri.com has actually grown into leaps and bounds. If you need someone to assist you to find the path to get into a career you will thrive in, this webinar is for you, as I mentioned. With a mission to make careers and lives of people more meaningful, more fulfilling, we bring to you Harveen Singh Bedi, leadership career coach. Now, 3 quick takeaways that you can expect from this conversation over the next 1 hour is new job search strategy, different career growth perspectives, and key to work-life balance. Now, the less I say, better it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, quickly, we have already put you on mute so that you can actually get the maximum out of this conversation. My only request to you would be open to this conversation. The person who's in this black color turban in the photograph and the white color turban in the real picture, he knows what he's talking about, right? Every time when I interact with Harveen, at least I get a lot of clarity, right? So without wasting much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, just be open to everything coming your way, and to give as much attention to the minutest of the nuances that he's going to share with you, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Harveen Bedi, over to you, my friend. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for and तुमने तो पूरा चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ा दिया यार. But really, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here, for watching this session. And I can promise you that you will have a lot of takeaways. Though Gaurav mentioned 3, I've got some bonuses also for you. And you like bonuses, right? Okay, but I have some 5, 6 rules before I start. And some of those rules, first is that if this gets disconnected because we are all sitting at our homes and the Wi-Fi keeps coming on and off, hang on, I'll be back. The first rule. Second rule is I want 100% participation. This is not a coaching session. This is where I tell you about my life and what has worked and the formula I use in coaching. And I want you to participate, and you have the chat box. So I want you to write on the chat box. So if you're on your mobile phones, please switch on to your laptops, iPads, because you will need to use the keypad during this session. Third, whatever you write, there is no judgment. Nobody's judging you. Here we are all open, right? This is a coaching platform, ICW. And then a request I have, please don't take pictures of these slides. These are some of my proprietary copyright material. And I will have one slide at the end, which I will allow you to take picture of. So, but get your pens and notepads ready, because you are in for a lot of learning. So I give you 30 seconds to get your pens and paper ready, because we're just going to start. How many of you have got your pens and papers already ready? Type in the chat box, I have. 18, 25, 30, good, 33, 42, okay. So we'll just wait for another 5-10 seconds. So welcome again from all those cities which you're coming from. And if I could just get some cities where you're from in the chat box. Like I said, you'll have to type a lot.
Great. So we have got people from Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Chandigarh, Noida, Hyderabad,
Pune,
Jaipur, wow. Ottawa, Canada. We have got people from.
Wow.
We have got people from Noida, Sofia, Bulgaria. We have got people from Portugal, Zirakpur in Delhi, Abu Dhabi.
Welcome.
We have got people from Bangalore, Pune, Delhi, Bombay, Chandigarh, Bangalore, New York, Ghaziabad.
So I think we have
London,
a good coverage.
Wales, and Portugal. Fantastic.
Great. So now tell me, how many of you are coaches who are in a coach or in the journey to become a coach? Type I in the chat box. Quite a few on the journey. Quite a few. Okay, welcome. Yeah, not sure. Agile coach. Well, that's also good. Aspirant. Yeah. Okay, Kalyan. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So now I want to start. So why in this time of COVID-19, I'm talking about a dream job. Okay. So first, I want to also ask you a question. How many of you read COVID-related news every day, more than 2 to 3 times in a day? Okay. Let's see in the chat box. Once. Okay. No. Anybody sees more than 5 times a day? What has happened? How many people? Is there any new cure? Good to see the answers. Good. Once, stop now, impacting on business. Once or twice. Yeah, Javed, thank you. Okay. So why I'm saying is that yes, COVID is something which is unprecedented. We've not been ready for this, and there is a lot of things going down. But on the healthcare front, it's a crisis which is only going to affect 0.001% of the population. That we all agree on the healthcare front. However, on the economic front, it may affect 30 to 40% of the population, because a lot of industries are going to go down. A lot of industries are going to change forever. And however, on the psychological front, it has already affected 80 to 90% of our population, because we just keep living in the fear of what is happening, how many people are dying, where are we going, when it's going to end. So what I want you to do is just think that if you are looking at more and more of negative news, you become more negative. So if you switch off all your news channels for some time, stop listening to people's opinion. Yeah, spend 1 or 2 minutes, 5 minutes a day and just listen to the news. You'll have a much better day. Focus on your goals, focus on how to get out of it, what you're going through in your career or your business. That's my sincere advice to you. And yes, there will be many industries which will go down because of what I see in jobs: travel, tourism, hospitality, auto, real estate, cinema complexes. Ola, Ubers are down, something which we couldn't survive without. Luxury retail, I don't know when will it pick up next. Live sports, a big industry, live sports, that's going to be down. Oil and gas, construction. But at the same time, equal number of industries are going to come up, and the jobs are going to be created in these industries. Let me name some of these industries. Digital products. So companies like Zoom, Demio, and all making software platforms. Gig economy, freelance economy is just thriving at this point of time. Stock trading. People are going to spend time doing stock trading, learning stock trading. Online education. Most of colleges, schools are shifting, the bigger schools or the public schools are shifting to online education. Universities, I see kids, my son, my daughter, I see them doing online education on Zoom and similar platforms. Alternative energy, things like solar, wind, power, it's just going to come up. Healthcare is one sector which is just going to boom in the next, I would say, 1 to 2 years. Pharmaceuticals, hospitals, data sciences. Data sciences are a new field, which is just spiritual sciences. Yes, people will get more spirituals. So the industry of spiritual sciences will go up. Mental health. This is the best time. If you're an aspirant coach, this is the best time. Mental health is where people will start spending on. Knowledge sharing economy. Again, if you're a coach, if you're a knowledge giver, this is the best time, because this industry is just going to go up. So equal number of opportunities are going to get created. It's the way you see the perspective you have. So now I'd like to just start with my presentation. And so what will be your takeaways? Like I said, Gaurav mentioned 3. I have one or two more. I thought it would be a good time to show people what are the mistakes to avoid while searching for a leadership job. And when I say leadership, I'm saying if you're in your mid-30s, mid-40s, and you're looking for your next career change, that's what I mean by a leadership job. Because if you're 3 years to 10 years of experience, you would already get jobs because of your skill through job portals, through headhunters, because skill is the only thing at that level which matters. So example, if you know Java, you'll get a job for Java, right? But at leadership level, there are a lot of other things which are softer skills and all which count. So things like team management, how good a leader are you, how do you manage crisis? And these are softer skills which are not very easy to understand during an interview. So people face some issues, how to highlight these kind of skills. And also I'll talk about the issues which are faced by these leadership candidates. I'll talk about breaking the biggest myth which people have. How many of you would love to know the biggest myth of the recruitment industry? Type I in the chat box. Okay, Kumar, you're the only one, I'll give it to you. First, before I start, thank you for your response. Before I start, I would like to thank, in the last 2 years, these have been my mentors who I've learned from. I've spent enough time on learning, enough time and money. So I've spent, as of today, 13.5 lakhs in the last 1 year doing courses, learning from all these mentors like Dr. John D. Martini, Helen Kemp, who's in Australia as a values coach, Gaurav Arora, of course, he's the one who got me into coaching. Moira Soul, also an Ericsson coach. She's a soul coach. I learned a lot from her. Rajiv Talreja is a business growth coach. He helps people scale up their businesses. Pooja Puneet, she's a life coach who's for women, only for women entrepreneurs. I met her during 1 or 2 sessions where she was a speaker, and small tips and all. She was phenomenal, and I learned a lot from her. Siddharth Rajshekhar, he's an online sales coach who teaches you to take your business online. Manmeet Chaudhary, she's in London. She's an optimum performance coach, also a DeMartini facilitator. So I would like to start any of my presentations by first thanking them, because whatever I'm going to share is because what I've learned through them. And of course, people in Naukri, people like Sanjeev Bikhchandani and Hitesh Oberoi, who've been my mentors during my Naukri time for 17 years. That is where I've learned lot many things of what I'm going to teach you today. Yeah, so the mistakes to be avoided while hunting for leadership jobs. So people at leadership apply to lots of jobs. When they're desperate, they say, okay, any job which comes, let me apply. One big mistake. They connect with as many recruiters as possible. That, okay, more the recruiters I connect to, more the chances I have of getting a job. They look at only active jobs. So they look at only jobs which are advertised, which are there out in the paper or on sites or printed, or they know from someone. They network very aggressively. They go and meet all their network. They go to their friends, their mentors, and say, "Meko job dhoond raha hu. I'm looking for a job. What should I do?" I'm saying these are some big mistakes, and I tell you why. They send CVs to all their contacts. They target that, okay, I'm going to send my CV to 20 people on LinkedIn, or I'm going to connect with 50 people in this week, and I'm going to send CVs to them. Now, just by bombing your CV across the place, meeting everyone, you don't get anything. It's like, okay, let me tell you what are the kind of issues you face once, or what are the kind of questions which you have, or the feedback which you have once you do this. You wonder, you have this question, what happened to my apply? I'd applied to that job, what happened? You get a response, the position is on hold. You get a response, we will get back to you from the recruiter. Or we are evaluating more candidates. Or there are much lesser number of openings. How many of you can relate to this? Type I in the chat box and be honest. How many of you can relate to this? Thanks for being honest, Neelu, Devinder, Sapna, Megha, Kumar. I've been a recruiter for 17 years. That is why I'm taking you through this. So what does this make us feel? When we get these kind of responses, what does this make us feel? Frustrating. Yes. Stuck. Yes. Disappointed. Worthless. As a result, we feel rejected because the network which we've been so long pushing for starts avoiding us. We feel depressed. We feel we are not good enough. We get into a victim mindset and we start blaming. Am I too old for this job? This industry is not doing well. Oh, there's an economic slowdown. That's why this is happening, right? How many of you can relate to it? Let me tell you my story. Hi, I'm Harveen Bedi. I'm a leadership career coach. I've got 25 plus years of experience, out of which 17 years from 2002 to 2018, I was with Naukri.com, heading the recruitment services businesses like Quadrangle, Executive Search, Naukri ER, Naukri Premium Shortlisting. I even headed a business called Resume Services, where you help people write CVs for about 2 years, and have been with them and so I've seen all the aspects of recruitment. I've interviewed thousands of candidates across these 16, 17 years. And then I got introduced to coaching through Gaurav. And let me step back a little more. Whenever I used to interview candidates and used to present, I used to always wonder that there are 10 candidates which I've presented. One of them gets the job. What happens to the 9 of them? Is there any way I could assist these 9 of them? This is the question I was struggling with at a personal level, because I felt all of them were so good candidates and such high potential, but the companies would have only one opening. Or sometimes you met these good candidates and you did not have a job for them. How could you assist you? And being at this position, I used to get a lot of CVs from my friends, from my peer group, from my relatives that why can't you get this person a job? And trust me, I used to struggle. I used to send CVs, but 99.9% of the times I was unable to get them a job. And that made me wonder that how can I assist candidates? We were assisting companies finding candidates. How could I assist candidates find the right company? And that is where I headed this resume services. So let me give you an example. For when clients hire from recruiters, let me tell you a fact first. They hire for proven expertise, and preferably proven expertise in their industry. So if they're going to hire an HR manager who's done, or an HR head who's done mergers of two companies, two Indian companies or two Indian plus American companies, that is it, what they're looking at as proven expertise when they're hiring. And you may have the best HR manager who has good potential, but they will not hire for potential. They will hire, the first question they'll ask, has the person seen a merger through with an Indian and an American company? If not, then let's put the person on hold for the time being. And that's how it works. Because they may hire for potential through their network, but whenever they hire from recruiters, they do not hire for potential, they hire for proven expertise. Please write this down. Recruiters hire for proven expertise in their industry. Understood? Understood? Type yes in the chat box. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Pradeep. So I was on this journey to figure out how could I assist candidates. And when I came across Gaurav and he introduced me to coaching, it was like an eye-opener for me. And this is exactly what I was looking for. Because the tools it taught me, it was I could now work with candidates and assist them find the right companies. And that is what made me then quit my job, start my coaching practice, and do things which I love. And I'm really, really thankful to Gaurav for putting me on this path. And it's been 2 years and it's been a phenomenal journey. And the satisfaction I get by getting candidates to find their dream companies is much more than I got in 17 years of getting them a job, which after 6 months, they would call me up and say, oh, I'm stuck here. Can you get me out of this place? Right? So that's been my story. Now, coming to the slide my mission. I personally made a mission that I want to make lives and careers of 1 lakh people more meaningful and fulfilling. And that's the mission which has driven me today to share all my expertise, all my crux with you all. Otherwise, I charge a hell lot for this, but because I'm on this mission and I want to impact and I want people to know what should be their journey, I'm here to share my expertise. First, what is the biggest myth of the recruitment industry? You may have got a hint during what I explained during my journey, but let me clarify. The biggest myth is that candidates think that recruiters will help me find a job. The biggest myth is that all candidates think that I will connect to more and more recruiters because they will help me find a job. Let me tell you why. Because the recruiter's job is not to find you as the candidate a position, but their job is to find the best candidate for their company's position. And rightly so, because the company is paying them money, the company is paying them salary, or the company is paying them incentives to find the best candidate. So when the recruiter works, his or her best interests are, how can I assist the company to find the best candidate? And if you're not the best candidate, the recruiter will not be able to find you the job. The recruiter will keep looking on for more and more candidates till the recruiter finds the apt candidate, which really fits in that puzzle. So how many of you think that was powerful? How many of you think that this myth, or were going with this myth? Can't agree more. Yes, it is an eye-opener. Makes perfect sense. Totally agree. Yes, Manish, true, true. Yes, it's very true. Thanks, Hari Krishnan. Thanks, Kalyan. Thanks, Devinder. Yeah. So that is why I come back and I say, do not contact so many recruiters, send CVs to so many people, because their job is not to find you a position. A recruiter on a point of time works on 8 to 10 active positions. And he or she is busy looking for the best candidate for those 8 to 10 active positions. So when I was also a recruiter, a headhunter, executive search. So you may be a CFO coming to me, but if I don't have a CFO position, there's no way I'm going to help you. I may send your CVs to 2 or 3 of my colleagues, but that also doesn't help you, because if, let me ask you, if I send you my friend CFO's CV, will you be able to help? Tell me, will you be able to get my friend who is a CFO a job in your company? Yes or no? Santosh says maybe. Nope, 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 no, no. Most of you agree. Because if there is no position, then there's nothing I can do, right? As a recruiter or as a friend, there's nothing I can do. So the recruiter's job, please understand, is not to find you a position. Job is to find the best candidate for the position, for the company's position. So what do? Well, don't worry. We have, I come to what is a dream job. A dream job is not a job which gives you higher salary or in a dream company. A dream job is not, I want to be in Google and earn 50 lakhs per month. A dream job is which is fulfilling. And a fulfilling job is which utilizes your potential fully and recognizes and rewards you accordingly. This is one of the biggest secret you should understand, because when I was working for 16, 17 years, all I used to hear from candidates is, I'm at 90 lakhs, I want a job for 1 crore. I'm in Delhi, I want a job in Bombay. I'm here, I want this. I'm a vice president, I need a senior vice president job. That is not the way to look at a job. The way to look at a job is a job which utilizes your full potential and recognizes and rewards you accordingly. How many of you agree on this definition of a dream job? So now I bring to you my ARAP model, which is the model. If you want to find your dream job, what should you do? How many of you would like to know my ARAP model? Let's see some enthusiasm and some energy. Yes, yes, excited. Yes, yes, please count me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your response. Like I said, I want 100% participation. So what is ARAP? ARAP stands for Awareness, Research, Audience, and Pitch. And I'll take you slowly through each of them. ARAP, Awareness, Research, Audience, Authority, Pitch. Audience, I also call it as authority another way. First is the awareness part, the most important part which people forget. And when I do this coaching, I put 2 sessions only on this, on who are you as a person. And here I do not mean as a professional, because awareness I divide into 2 parts. First, as a person, what are the things which you enjoy? What are the things which are most important to you in your life? What are the things which you really truly connect with? What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing? What would you want to do later in life? And all answers, because usually people think on only 1 or 2 aspects in their career or family. But once you dig deeper, there are so many things you enjoy. Some people enjoy fitness. Some people enjoy working for a social cause. Some people enjoy sports. Some people enjoy reading. Some people enjoy traveling, trekking. Don't you? So every person is unique, and their areas of what they enjoy is unique. And you have to spend time to figure out what are the things you enjoy. And that's just one part, because this is the personal part of you. Let me come to the awareness, second part. The second part is, who are you as a professional? Okay, you may be a HR manager, you may be a sales head, you may be a leadership training and development head. What kind of problems do you love to solve in your work life from the bottom of your heart? And let me tell you, I've asked these questions to many people. This is the part where you truly need a coach to assist you with. The awareness part, because awareness is best done with a coach. And I'm not saying I'm the best coach. Go to any coach who you trust or work with, who is certified, who's done any kind of coaching, because the coach should be an expert, and a coach can help you answer this because the coach is non-judgmental. He will not judge you for the things which you enjoy and the things which you don't enjoy. The coach knows how to take the best out of you. The coach knows how to highlight your strengths. And what I've also learned during my coaching for the last 2 years is stop working too much on your weaknesses. Just work on your strengths. You see, because if you work on your weakness, you will not become the best at what you do. You need to work on the weakness just to pass. It's like if there's a subject which you need to pass, you just need to do the passing marks. But work on your strengths, because that nobody can do better than you, because they are your strengths. So to give you an example, if we were to say, if I were to tell Sachin Tendulkar to be an HR manager, how would he be an HR manager? That would be probably a big weakness for him. And if I keep telling Sachin Tendulkar, no, work on your weakness, be a HR manager, learn how to be an HR manager, he would just be no one in some company sitting in some corner. But if Sachin Tendulkar works on his strengths, which is cricket, see where he's come. So here I say work on your strengths. However, the weaknesses part, just the bare minimum which is required to qualify for that job. You don't need to be the best at what you're weak in. You need to be the best on your strengths. Does it make sense? Type yes if it makes sense. Thank you. So this is the first part, which is awareness first at the personal side, then at the professional side. And this is the first thing you need to do before you start looking for a change or next change. And I would sincerely advise you to look at a coach for this, because when we try to do it ourselves, we are limited by our own beliefs. We need somebody to shatter our beliefs. We need somebody to question us on what we are believing. Is it really true? Let's come to the second part. Once you know what you're good at, then you shortlist companies you would love to work for. And forget if there's a job or there's no job. First, at least shortlist, make a long list of companies which you would love to work for, which have almost all the elements of your professional life, the problems which you love to solve. Those should be the kind of problems in those companies. And they should also have some element of your personal life. So for example, I'm just giving you, if you're a health fitness freak, or if you love fitness, and you were to work in a fitness company, you may be an HR person, you may be a sales head, you may be an R&D person, you may be a technology person. But if you're working where the talk is fitness and everything around you is fitness, if you were to work for a company like Nike, if you were to work for an Indian company like YourFit, wouldn't you feel more fulfilled? Wouldn't you feel more fulfilled? If you like travel and you really get energized through travel, wouldn't you get more fulfilled if you were working for a travel company? If you like sports, how would it feel to work in whatever profession? You may be a chartered accountant, but a chartered accountant for a sports company. So my point here is shortlist companies you want to work for. Don't go by positions and keep applying on positions everywhere, left, right, and center. Shortlist 10, 20, 30 companies which you want to work for. Look at the problems which they are having or what they're trying to solve. Okay, so here I come to my second part, which is research. Research the companies. Once you shortlisted 15, 20 companies, what are the problems they are going through? Are these the problems you love to solve? So for example, if you really love putting structure to an unstructured place, the company you're trying to go for, is it unstructured? Will it help you put structure in place? If you're a great team leader, if you love managing teams, if you love motivating them, taking them along, is that a problem in the new company which you're applying for? Because if that's a problem the company is facing, and it is one of those 15, 20 dream companies, then you are the right solution. So shortlist accordingly. And how will you find the problem? It's simple, but it takes effort. It's doable. And please research much more than what is available in the internet, because whatever is available in the internet, everybody knows. Yes, there are sites like Glassdoor and all, which give you reviews of what the companies are going through, but they could be biased or unbiased. When I say research the companies, speak to the company's customers, speak to the company's suppliers, vendors, speak to employees in that company, speak to ex-employees in that company, speak to your network which knows about that company. Don't use your network to just, I'm saying, float your CVs left, right, and center to everyone. Find who, and here I'm not talking about, again, sending your CVs. Don't be in a hurry. If you want a leadership job, it takes time. Speak to all these kind of people, understand what is the company going through. And it's very simple. Once you speak to people face to face, one-on-one, and you ask them what is the company going through, what is good, what is bad, you will get very good hints of what problems they are facing. Somebody will say, oh, suppliers are not supplying on time. Somebody will say, then you know, okay, supply chain is a problem. Somebody will say, oh, the boss is very, doesn't take the team together. Then you know, okay, team leading is a problem. Somebody will say that the customer will say, oh, the products are not good. So then you know, okay, there's a product problem which I could work for. So look at these problems and then identify with your problems which you love to solve. If they match, that is the company. And this way you need to come to a short list of about 5 to 10 companies, not more than 10, which you would love to work for, which have some of the problems which you love to solve, which are in the industries which energize you. Making sense? Well, let's see the chat box. Yes, yes, yep. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, this is how you need to reverse the thing. Here is where you need to use your network. You need to use LinkedIn to figure out, okay, do I know? So if I want to work for Nike, do I know anybody who knows anyone in Nike who can give me an insights into what is happening in that company in India or at the global level, right? So we come to the second part, which we finished, the R, the awareness and the research. The third part, authority. Find out who is the authority in that position. Who is the person who makes the decisions to recruit? And when I say to recruit, I mean what your skill is, who you are as a professional. So if you're an HR manager, then who is the HR head? Does the HR head have the authority to recruit you, or does the HR head need the CFOs or the CEOs okay for it? If you're the tech guy, then who's the tech head? Who's the CTO? Who has the authority? Do all kinds of research. You see, at senior levels these days, here you can use the internet to its full extent, where you can see news articles, you can look at speeches, you can look at YouTube videos, you can look at interviews, you can look at people or connect to people who worked under him or her, whoever is the authority to make that decision to hire you. And till now, I'm saying forget if there's a position or not. Just find out who is the head of that department. And because at head levels, this kind of information is easier to find. And you have sites like LinkedIn and I'm saying use your network. And this authority is the person who's going to be the decision maker. You need to understand the person inside out. You need to understand what does the person think, what does the person want, what does the person saying in his or her interviews. And there you will either connect to the thoughts, or you will at least understand whether this is the right place for me or not. This is one very, very important part. And the last part is P, for pitch yourself. Pitch yourself to this authority. And pitching can be done in 3 ways. You can pitch through your network. You can pitch through a direct email. And at leadership level, it's easy to take out email IDs. It's quite easy. Most of the companies you can just guess. Like Gaurav Arora could be either Gaurav at xmonks or Gaurav.arora at xmonks. Write an email to both. So I'm just saying, figure it out. And in IT companies, they mask the ID with some difficult numbers and all. So figure it out. Ask somebody to go to Outlook in that company. The junior most person can go and look at the email ID and tell you on Outlook. So here is where you need to network, use your network. You need to either email the person directly, or another thing which a lot of my people, and I worked with some of my clients who use this, is meet the person in a conference in an informal environment. And it's easy to find out because most of these senior head of departments are called somewhere or the other as speakers. And if you Google them, you'll find out, okay, like today, if you Google, today we are on a web conference, but if we were in a live conference, you would know, okay, Harveen Bedi is coming and speaking. Okay, Gaurav Arora is coming and speaking. Okay, this person, X person Y is coming and speaking. So whoever you want to speak to, understand that this is this person coming there? And if the person is coming there as a speaker, the person will definitely arrive half an hour before his speech or her speech. Network with the person there before the speech, because after the speech, he or she will be surrounded by people exchanging visiting cards, and he'll be like, she will be really feeling good about themselves that, oh, the speech went well or not. They'll be more concerned there. But before the speech, network with that person in that conference and make an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is what probably something which you can say in 1 minute, where you tell the person, listen, I understand. And this all boils down to the research which you did. You say, listen, this is the problems your company is going through. Your supply chain is screwed. Your customer thinks that the product is not good enough. And your team leading people are not happy with their current bosses. And by the way, I love solving these problems. Don't pitch yourself as a job seeker. Pitch yourself as a problem solver. Now tell me honestly, put your hand on your heart and tell me, if I come to you and I understand and I've done enough research finding out the problems which you are going through, and I offer that, okay, I would love to solve these problems, and here is the list of I'm saying my achievements in solving these problems, then would you listen to me or not? Or would you give me personalized time to come and meet you later? Type yes or no. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So this is my ARAP model, and I cannot guarantee it works every time, but what I can say, out of all the coachings I have done, 1 in 10 companies, you will get your foot in the door. I do not know what salary, I do not know what designation, what position, but you will join a company which fulfills you because you are doing something which you love doing from the bottom of your heart. And you're working in a company which you really gel with because it has some likes to your personal being, who you are as a person. And you would just love. And it's not about getting the job. You may get the job at 10% lesser salary, 20% lesser salary. It does not matter. At leadership level, whether you're earning 1 crore or whether you're earning 90 lakhs, your life is not going to change. But what I can guarantee you, if you work in a company where you love solving the problems and they have those problems, and it is totally in sync and aligned to who you are as a person, then your salary, designation, and all will increase. You can't stop because you'll be the best at what you do. And that's the problem the company wants to get solved. You will be the best. You will be working on your strengths. This is the one. So tell me, how did you find the ARAP model? Now, do you want another bonus? How many of you want a bonus? Yes, yes, please. People like free bonuses. Very logical, wonderful. Yes, yes. Thank you, Raki. Thank you, Parul. Thank you, Ranjit. Thank you, Asma. All is good. It's 17 years of working. Then I've got this model. You've got it in 45 minutes, right? So the bonus is this ARAP model works in your existing companies also. You need not shift your companies because in your company, you know what are the problems you love to solve. You know who's the decision maker already. All you have to do is do your research and make your pitch to the right authority. So there could be some projects, they may not be a part of your KRAs, but just say, I want to be a part of this project. So if you enjoy, like I said, team leading problems, and there is something going on, volunteer without asking anything in return. You say, okay, I want to be part of this project, leadership training, where I could help on team leading. If there's a supply chain problem and you're a supply chain expert, or if there's a consumer problem, you're a product expert, volunteer yourself without asking anything in return. Because once you start volunteering, you get a foot in the door. And once you get your foot in the door, the management immediately starts noticing, oh, this person is doing this job really well. Oh, this person is really into it. We've not even asked him or her, and she is going all out and helping us with this. She's helping us. She's adding much more value to our company. Oh, this person should be also considered for new roles here. Don't you think you can even give this model in your existing companies? Type yes or no. Yes, it's a magical trick. Yes, yes. Offer yourself, because the point what I'm trying to say is, if you're working in your areas of strength, you are bound to thrive. You are bound to get noticed. There is nobody which can stop you from getting noticed and getting appreciated and rewarded for your work. So this, my friends, is my ARAP model. And now let me come to, I would like to thank all of you who've been here, taken the time today to hear this out. Gaurav, Xmonks and the team. And even I would like to thank these templates made by Slides Carnival, which I found really, it was freely available on online. Now, before I go, I want to know from each of you, and here I mean 100% of you, what has been your biggest takeaway from today's webinar?
Bedi sir, we can also request some questions from our audience. I'm sure they have many questions.
I just want them to write the biggest takeaways before we move to the next question and answer. I want you to write your biggest takeaways in the chat box, and then we will move to question and answers, and I will solve all your questions. Don't worry, I'm not going. Research. Yes. Bahut changa model hai, sir. Thanks a lot for sharing. ARAP, me as a problem solver. Good. Lively interaction. The last part, Harkrishan. Yes. Work on strengths. Your experience that you shared. Appropriate approach. Thank you. My biggest takeaway, that this can be applied to any other spheres in our life we want. Yes. I will not focus on perfecting my weaknesses. Your homework. Yes. Aim for opportunities. Personal and professional awareness. Act as a problem solver, not a job seeker. Last slide. You can be in the same firm with an enhanced role if you pitch it right. Work on strength. I'll focus on my strengths. Will be beneficial even though I'm 60 plus. Will be followed in my coaching career. Yes. Yes, Anshu, look. Yes. Problem solvings. Thank you. Thank you. Now, before we move now to the question and answers, I want you to take, this is a snap which you can take and put it up, that you commit to working on making your career more meaningful using the learnings from today's webinar. Take a picture from your mobile phones, friends, and then we move. And this you can upload to your social media. Tag me, tag Gaurav, tag Xmonks, whosoever, because then I know you're committed to making your life and your life and careers more meaningful and fulfilling. Take this picture, put it on your media, and because I would know then that I have made a difference in these people's lives. Now we can take up questions, Gaurav. Thank you.
Fantastic. So if you've got any question, just type in the question and answer round and we'll be more than happy to address that. We have got a master who has helped thousands of people in helping the right job for themselves. So please go ahead, Type in your question. We would love to address that. Also, there's a poll in front of you that says, how was the overall experience? Was it excellent? Was it very good? Was it good? Was it fair or average?
And I'm honestly thanking you for your responses and helping me or assist you guys, because I'm on my mission and you all are letting me live my mission. Yes, questions in the meantime.
Yeah, just write down the questions. Oh, fantastic. So here is the first question, Bedi sab.
Yeah.
How are you responding to coaching situation where they are forcing an impact on their dream jobs in the background of COVID-19 and want to be coached on expanding choices around careers? I shall repeat that one more time.
Yeah.
How are you responding to coaches situations where they are forcing an impact on their dream jobs in the background of COVID-19?
Yeah, let me just answer this part first before we move to the second part. So understand, if your industry is getting impacted and there is going to be a slowdown, you need to reskill yourself. You need to start adding more value. If you can't get out of your industry, add more value to your customers, add more value to your clients, add more value to your company. However, if you feel that the industry is totally gone and you want to switch the industry, look at the industries which are rising and find your dream industry in those companies, dream job in those companies. Yeah, Gaurav, the second part.
The second part is, and want to be coached on expanding choices around careers.
Look at who you are. Like I said, the awareness is the biggest one. And that will give you the true sense of where you can expand your career. And use any coach. And I'm saying, seriously, take any coach you can come across. It will be an enlightening experience, because you need to know where you need to expand. And there are jobs in every sphere. Today, if you say, that day I met somebody and that person interestingly said that, oh, I don't know, I just love sleeping. And I said, there are jobs in the sleeping industry to figure out what is a good sleep, how can you sleep more, what can you not do. And you just search online. Today, I'm saying there are things across the world, and internet has made you a part of such a big system. It's a gig economy. You can, whatever is your strength, you can find somebody who can use it.
Yep. So there are some amazing questions, and that those are primarily around age, Bedi sab. So it says, is this model applicable for 2 to 7 years of experience? That is one. On the other extreme, there's another beautiful question related on the same continuum of age, with younger taking over as CXO positions. How do you look at people with 50 years plus, good experience and also good knowledge? What is your opinion on younger retired people in job market?
So let me divide this into two parts. The first is the 2 to 7 years of experience. You can use it, but I'm saying for you to figure out team leaders, because you'll be working under very junior people, to figure out what they are, who they are, this may not work as effectively. And you may just get a job because of your skill through sites like Naukri and all, work fantastically for people from 3 to, I would say 12 to 14 years of experience, from 3 years of experience, they work fantastically. So this model will take too much of your time. Just get into, yes, kind of companies you want to, but you may not be able to research who's the authority as well, because you're not pitching to a CEO, you're not pitching to a senior vice president or at that level. Now for senior people, again, this is fantastic. I have worked with people who are 55 and who are dejected that, oh, I'm not able to find a job. Everybody, age is my limit. Age is my limit. Who is saying you need to be in a job? Number one, you need to just add value. Let me give you an example, which I did here. So the person I'm talking about was a salesperson who had worked in sales in earth moving equipment manufacturing industry for the last 15 years, got laid off, did not have a job, was at 55, was going to 2-3 companies. And I sat with that person and I went deeper into that person and tried to ask, what is it that you enjoy doing? Which part of your sales stint did you enjoy the most? And he said, okay, when I was in South India and I used to handle Kerala and Tamil Nadu, I knew the distributors inside out. That was the greatest years of my life. And I'm still in touch with all those distributors. They respect me. I said, bang on. That is your core. So The person went to another company which had already rejected him for a sales position because he was 55 years of age. I said, do the research, find out which company does not have a good distribution system in South. He found a company, and I'm not going to name the company or the person, so let's say company X, where the South, it was very good in North, but South, their distributors wasn't good enough. And they were not too worried because they were saying, okay, we will probably do our numbers from North. And he worked with me and he pitched to the company that, okay, your South distribution is not working. Give me 6 months of consulting assignment and I will charge you 30 lakhs for this assignment and you will pay for my travel and I will appoint 5 new distributors in your South. Your sales in South will double and I will change your distributor who's not working. And I will just be in for 6 months, do it and move out. The person, before he got fired, he was at 30 lakhs annual salary. He got a 40 lakhs for 6 months once he negotiated to solve this problem. And the person, the national sales manager, also did not feel threatened because he was helping him solve a problem. And there was no threat because he would solve the problem, he would move on. And this person who I'm talking about has become a consultant and that's all he does. He says, if your distribution in South is not good, I'm the guy. He goes and consults 2 companies in a year and he's making much more money. So age is not any criteria, please. The more you are aged, the more experience you have, just figure it out. You can help people.
Yeah. Thank you, Bedi sir. Bedi sir, there are 2 more questions which are very on the similar lines. One is, I've got 18 years of experience in business, right? And I've been a business guy working in one of the multinational companies. How can I become a coach like you? And there's another question that says, I'm a recruiter for the longest period of time, for as long as I've known myself. How can I become a coach like you? Harveen, Bedi sir, you are actually creating more competition for yourself. Be aware. Please go ahead.
I would love competition here. I would love all of you to become coaches because today the world needs coaches. There are a billion of people and there are hardly 500 good coaches in India. Today the world needs coaches. So I would love if each one of you went out. I'm saying Ericsson was the thing which, and I have told a lot of people in my community that, okay, if you want to do coaching, go through Ericsson. Gaurav is one of the best guys because the way it transformed me, I would 100% sure it will transform you. But yes, coaching, if you're a recruiter, coaching should be natural to you because you have been working with people, you have been working with candidates, but you've not been asking the right questions. Once you get to know coaching, I'm saying it is just a beautiful transition. Your years of experience does not matter.
Thank you. The next question is, if I have not gone through certain situations, but believe that I can solve it, how can I pitch that I can solve it? Why would company believe in it?
No, the company will not believe in it. So you're right. You have to have solved. So it's not that I think I can be the best managing director of a company. You have to have proven expertise. You have to have said that I was this person here in this company I solved, this company I solved. And believe me, what you're thinking of, there are a lot of problems which you are solving. It's just that you are not aware of them and you don't know how to pitch them. Every one of you, whether you're even 2 years of experience, there is some value only you can add because of what you've been through in your journey. So don't undermine yourself and try and pitch to things which you think may be good for you. Like you may think Google may, if I become the head of India, is the best job. You may have a better job than that. My friend, don't undermine yourself.
The next question is, Bedi sir, so how about creating a culture of seeking out good coaches? I see people have a lot of stigma to work with coaches. How should we address this?
Yeah, I would say this was quite true 2 years from when I did my coaching and when I went out. I was very clear I wanted to be in the B2C space. I wanted to coach customers, candidates. I did not want to go to companies and coach the senior level people because it was just not me, where I found a little restrictive. So 2 years before when I started with my friends, family, started coaching them. Coaching was something which nobody had heard of in my community, and everybody said, "Ye kya kar raha hai?" But today, believe me, this COVID thing happening, and like Gaurav said, I have 3 webinars every week. I have 6 coaching calls every I would say alternate day, and there is demand because you see now today kids are going to psychologists. You need coaches, you need people. It is a knowledge economy. Everybody is shit scared of what is happening, and you need people who can guide you how to get out of it, how to work on yourself. The only thing you have to be very, very true to yourself is you need to invest in yourself. Like I said, I have invested 13.5 lakhs as of today in the last 1 year to know more. That is why I'm today sitting in front of you and talking. Had I just thought ki yaar, coaching is a very expensive thing, I will spend 1.5 lakhs, what will I get out of it? I would have just remained in my last company.
And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Harveen is one of those very few people in our community who is going through his journey really fast. In last 2 years, he has completed all the 4 modules: module 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I guess he's already on his journey to get his credentials from ICF as well. Now, there's a beautiful question. I don't know, Harveen ji, how are you going to address this? Did you take
just before you ask the question, Gaurav has run out of certifications, out of courses. that I am so fond of learning new things now. Yeah.
It says, did you take a lot of free sessions initially?
Yes, definitely. I started, like I said, I started with my friends and family, and I said, okay, you take me for a cup of coffee, and I'll coach you. And they used to say, "Ye kya hai?" And once they went through the coaching, they were like, oh, this was new, this was enlightening, and that's how I took feedback initially. How can I improve? What can I do? Where did I go wrong? How can I do better? And you need to take free sessions, because that is the best way you get feedback initially. Don't start saying, I will charge 1 lakh rupees and then only coach. You need to start free. You need to add value to people, friends, before you start demanding your price. And to add value, you need to practice.
2 more questions, subsequent questions. One is, how was your experience of going through the coach certification yourself? Second question, how did you start your coaching practice, and how did you get your first 5 clients? So ideally 3 questions. How was your experience of going through your coach certification? How did you start your coaching practice? How did you get your first 5 clients?
So like I said, I went my Ericsson, it was I think so December 2018 when I got my first, when I did my module 1, and I said, ye kuch to interesting hai. By module 2, I was totally bowled over. And let me tell you, some of you who are doing coaching or who are getting into coaching, in module 2 in Ericsson, they teach you some 8, 10, 12 tools which can be used in different situations to solve problems of clarity, confusion. I used the same question with 12 to 15 different people. How can I be a good coach? What do I need to do to be a good coach? And every person used those tools in a different way, because like Gaurav also says, you say, Gaurav, like you who you are is how you coach. So there was a CFO who was a coach. He would ask me, okay, you would become a coach. How would you make it financially viable? And he made me think on the financial part of it. There was an HR person. They asked from the HR perspective. There was a sales head who was also going through that practice, the same question. And it made my resolve so much of stronger by the time I came out of my second module, that I was sure that I wanted to be a coach for the rest of my life. That's the first part. What was the second question?
The second is, how did you start your coaching practice?
Like I said, 3 cups of coffee. And I had enough savings which could take me, let's say I decided 6 to 8 months it may take for me to start earning. And till that time, just practiced with cups of coffee.
And how did you get your first 5 clients?
through referrals. The first 5 always come through referrals. When you make a difference, the word of mouth comes around. People say, yeah, there is something, that person, you have to go sit with him and take a session. And that's when you start realizing, when you have more people than what you can serve, then you start raising your price.
Brilliant. We have got 2 questions. One is, when you are going to talk about how do you manage to work with your family and friends, that's one. On the other hand, it's an online one. So first I'm going to talk about your you are not supposed to coach your family and friends because you have your own perception of them, right? So how did it work for you?
So that is the best part, because you have to see some who in the family are, number one, open to it. And the best part is that, can you wear a coaching hat when you're with your family and friends? And so when I came back, I think from module 2, the first time I came back, I went to my daughter that day. I reached home because it was in Gurgaon. I reached at about 8 o'clock, and I told my daughter that there's something which I have learned. I want to practice it with you. Are you open? She says, okay, Dad. And she was my first coachee. And I did, okay, let me take you through this. I did a visioning exercise with her, which I had learned. And she visualized, and at that time she was small. She didn't, this is like, not that small, I'm saying 2 years back. And she thought of a college that, oh, I would love to go to that college. She was in 9th or 10th that time. And she was my first coachee, my daughter. And today, it's 2.5 years later, she's in that college. So family and friends, it works.
Yes. Bedi sir, thank you so much. And the last question is, can coaching session be done online?
Yes, it is.
So and how can we establish online coaching consultancy?
So like I said, everything today, I'm saying I'm the busiest person during this COVID thing. I'm doing it every day on Zoom. I'm saying 5-6 hours in every 2 days is what I'm busy with. So online, this is the best time you can coach anybody in the world. I have coaches across. I have coaches in Emirates. I have coaches in Kuwait. I have coaches in the US. So online, I'm saying this is the best time to be a coach.
So that's it. Thank you so much, Bedi Saab. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, he's one of the finest coaches I know of. Right? When people trust us, of course, the kind of person that he is, once you meet him, you would have great respect for him. A few days back, I called Bedi Saab. I said, Bedi Saab, you know what? Of course, I had a lot of respect for you, but now I've got a lot of love for you as well. And that's the kind of relationship we have been able to create. We've been able to build for each other. What I can tell you is, in case you would like to know more about him, what we are going to do is, because few of you have mentioned that the mail IDs should not be shared with anyone. So what we are going to do is, we are going to write a thank you mail to all of you. In that mail, we are going to write the credentials, the contact details about Bedi Saab as well. Please feel free to reach out to him. I'm telling you, he's one of the finest coaches I know of. In case I need some coaching, he's the man I'll go to, for a couple of reasons. One is because he's not going to charge me that much as he's charging the world, and he'll be very, very kind to me as well. So Bedi Saab, thank you so much. It was a sheer pleasure to have you here on the platform of X Monks, where we bring to you few of the best coaches, few of the best leaders for the personal transformation and leadership development.